Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Joseph from Screenbite, and this is my full review of the iPhone X. Let's check it out. Now, I did not expect to have another phone to review this year, but here we are with a $1,000 phone. That's right, I said $1,000. Now, is it worth that price? We'll get to that, but first, let's go ahead and check out the design. In my opinion, design is the best thing that the X has going for it. It's the biggest change Apple has made in 4 years. They went back to the iPhone 4 roots with a metal frame, stainless steel in the X's case, sandwiched between two pieces of glass. What comes out is a very premium, heavy smartphone which definitely feels like it's worth some money. However, even though Apple claims this is the strongest glass they've ever used on a phone, I wouldn't put it to the test. I'm definitely going to be putting this one in a case. In my case, it will be the Pitaka Mag case. Still waiting for that to come in though. Now, one thing I'm going to have to get used to with this phone is the lack of headphone jack. Yep, dongle for me. Along the left-hand side, you're going to have the volume rocker as well as the mute switch, which is a feature I'm very quickly loving. Along the right-hand side, you're going to have the side button as well as a SIM tray. Around the back, you have the camera, as well as my only gripe with the phone's design, the camera bump. It protrudes quite a bit, which makes for a rocky table use experience. Moving to the front, we have the biggest change on the phone. We have a large OLED display squeezed into a bezel-less frame. Well, almost bezel-less. Love it or hate it, the infamous notch is there, but for me, it doesn't detract from the user experience too much at all. In fact, I quite like it. It really makes this phone stand out. The display itself gets crazy bright, and it just looks incredible. Colors are accurate but pop, whites are white, blacks are black, and everything just looks so sharp. I'm calling it best display on a smartphone ever. Now, to make the screen bezel-less, Apple had to do away with the home button. In its place, we now have a gesture-based user experience and Face ID. The gestures I got used to pretty easily, and I even learned some hidden ones to make the user experience faster. For example, to get to multitasking, you normally have to swipe up and hold for a second, which can definitely feel like forever. But if you slide diagonally, you get to that menu immediately. Another one is with a complaint I hear quite often with the sliding from the top for the different menus like Control Center and Notifications. However, if you move your finger ever so slightly to the left of where you would swipe for Control Center, you can access the notifications. You don't have to go all the way to the left. My last quick tip is with Face ID. A lot of complaints are around the extra gesture that you have to do to open up the phone after it detects your face. However, you can actually make this quite fast. With the screen off, tap, then immediately slide up, and you'll be right into your phone, almost as fast as Touch ID. Quickly talking about Face ID, I personally have had pretty much zero issues with it. I've had some times where it doesn't detect my face, but it is a new feature that only has room to grow with future implementations, and I really do enjoy the experience of getting into my phone. It's just so natural. Moving on to performance, the iPhone X, along with the 8 and 8 Plus, are packing Apple's new A11 Bionic chip. It's supposed to be 70% faster than the 7th generation, and it shows. This thing is blazingly fast. Everything feels buttery smooth, and I've had zero hiccups while zipping around iOS 11.2. Getting into battery life, I would say it's about average for a 2017 flagship. I can safely get through a full day of moderate to heavy use, and I estimate about 6.5 hours of screen on time. Also, Apple included wireless charging in this generation, which is a welcome addition. When it comes to camera performance, the iPhone X shines. I was able to consistently capture great looking photos in low to next to no light conditions. Portrait mode works really well on the rear camera. But on the front, it can be a little weird. It really seems to struggle with hair. Speaking of the front-facing camera, it's actually pretty darn good. I was able to capture some pretty true-to-life shots that just had really good color and good sharpness overall. Now, for video, I'm personally not a huge fan of smartphone video. I always find it too contrasty and a lot of sharpness, but the iPhone X, even though it falls in this category, you can definitely get some great video, even in low light. So, price and final thoughts. Now, we all know by now that the iPhone X is extremely expensive. It is $1,000 for the base end model, which is the one that I have here. Is it worth that price? Well, that's subjective. To me, It is. And that's because Apple finally released the iPhone that I've been wanting for many years now. Small form factor, giant screen, OLED, and fantastic camera. And all those round up just add up to a really good software and hardware experience for me, and that's why it's worth that cost. Now, is it worth that cost to you? I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is, I would highly recommend maybe going out to a store, picking one up, checking it out for a little bit, and if it is worth it, drop in the cash, because honestly, it's a fantastic phone. But that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video, guys, so thank you once again for watching. As always, if you liked it, make sure to show it by hitting that like button down below. It really helps me out. As well as if you have any questions about what we talked about today, feel free to ask it in the comment section. You can also ask your questions on Twitter at Screenbite. Also, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, feel free to subscribe. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.